Hello, and thanks to Gulf Intelligence for inviting not just one, but two representatives of the National to help facilitate these discussions. We drew the question of the IOC-NOC relationships and how to build win-win pillars for the 21st century. I'm happy to report there were plenty of good ideas. The problem, in fact, was boiling them down to 5. You'll be relieved to hear that we did this, otherwise we would never get to our lunch. So, actually, I want to point out, though, that there was one key idea that ran as a very strong thread throughout all the 5 points, and that is the need to take a long-term view. But we're all in this oil business together, and we are in it for the long term. There was also a new idea, I think, that started to emerge, although it was actually referred to by my distinguished Danish colleague who had the same question, and that is that NOCs and IOCs in partnership should really start to broaden their horizons, both geographically and indeed in terms of the sort of ventures they're in. It's not just oil, it's hydrocarbons in general, that includes particularly gas. And indeed, it's not just hydrocarbons, it's energy in general that we should be looking at and that they should be partnering on to develop. So our first point was really the importance of long-term relationships and that these relationships should be flexible partnerships. Yes, for sure, contracts should be respected, but the partnership should be robust enough that an element of trust develops, which allows it to evolve. And in fact, one gentleman at our table, he was Emirati, I'm sorry, he actually said that ideally the international partners should feel that they are part of the national oil company that they work with, that these are their resources, their oil reserves, and therefore they should treat them accordingly. So that, I think, probably doesn't happen at the moment, but it's a goal to work towards, and it would be lovely if we could see this within the 21st century. Another strong point was increasing the size of the pie, oil and gas and energy in general. And on the converse side, developing markets so that indeed we can deliver energy resources to the people who need to use them more efficiently. Let me move along here. Point number 3 was jointly developing more responsibility in energy production and consumption. This feeds right into the whole idea that's become very popular of sustainability in energy, meeting the energy needs of the planet. This is regarded as a win-win situation for both national oil companies and internationally, because that means that they can be in the business for longer. Our 4th point was an emphasis on education and training. IOCs and NOCs need to invest together in developing technical capability, and this means investing in the next generation of technical workers. It also means investing in research and development together. And it means making the IOC partners feel that they are part of the whole society of the host countries in which they operate. And lastly, the global aspect was very important. We've heard before a very good suggestion that IOC and NOC partners should go out together and operate in 3rd countries. That also came up at our table. What also came up is that bringing global best practices in responsible production, in safety, in environmental standards are very important. Developing a joint commitment to those standards is very important and something that should be jointly pursued. And also that neither the IOCs or the NOCs should have fixed ideas that the way they did things in the past is necessarily the best way to go forward. Both should learn from each other. The NOCs should listen to the IOCs about what's out there around the world. The NOCs should listen to what's needed for local practices. for developing these particular reserves right here in this country, and that both should work together on developing the global best practices and improving them. And with that, I am going to get off the podium and let you get a step closer to lunch.